In terms of the Queen's legacy, her role within the monarchy, what do you make of it then? I mean, this really is a moment of history that we are living through as it currently stands.
Absolutely. And I think it's one of those things, isn't it? We're all going to remember in years to come where we were when we heard this announcement. And I was actually doing some filming in what was the old house of her great-grandfather. And we'd had whispers coming through during the day that she wasn't very well. And then when it hit us in the evening, I was actually in a town that I've never been in before. And the town crier came out. And it was the strangest thing ever, because you could hear a pin drop and cars just stopped in the middle of the road and people got out, and the town crier elegantly told us that the Queen had passed away, and then finished with "Long live the King," and then she sobbed, and you could see her wiping her eyes under her glasses. And there were young people just had stopped in the street, and older people, and they were all embracing. And we were visibly upset. I was crying, the person I was with was crying. So it's a very emotional time. It feels very strange as a historian to be living through this. And in terms of her legacy, I mean, arguably she is the longest reigning monarch. And I don't think it's how long she reigned for, really. It's what she did within that reign. And, the fact that she was more approachable than any other monarch. I've never met her. I'm not got nothing in common with the Queen, but I felt like I could sit down and have a cup of tea with her. I felt like I knew her. And I think we're all grieving. And I know I've heard this so many times over the past few days, like a nana. And to me, she felt like a nana or a grandmother. And it's a really, really sad loss for us.
Indeed. Just talk to me a little bit about the role of a genealogist, actually, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, especially when it comes to the royal family. Just discuss that for me.
Yeah, so I'm a genealogist, and obviously I spend most of my time, when I'm not talking about the Victorians, trying to, reconnect people with their ancestry. So it's quite interesting, when you look at sort of the Queen's ancestry, which I did a bit for the Jubilee. But this feeling of, belonging and grief and everything that we're going through now, you tend to relive as a genealogist with families day in, day out. And what's really interesting, that above everything else, and if we take away what's happening at the moment, at the heart of this is a family. And it's a family that is grieving.
It is, and a really important point to leave that on, Michala.